Okay, so if you grab one of them and then let's have a quick look, and then I'll take bloods and see if they've got any better. Oh, let's have a look. I'm just going to have a quick look and see there's no mucus in your throat. Okay, so they've both been feeding really well. Good girl, good girl. So I'm just looking into the mouth to see if there's any mucus, because that can give me an idea if there is still a problem. She's got very nice, good body condition there, so she's not thin. I'm listening to the lungs and actual air sacs, which birds have that we don't. And air sacs are big spaces that actually help with their buoyancy in penguins, but in other birds actually keep birds light so that they can fly. But they're unfortunately very prone to infections. Penguins are not designed to live in warm places, so we wouldn't think Edinburgh is warm, but it is for them. And so anywhere in the world outside Antarctica, penguins are prone to getting little infections in their lungs, and so we're just making sure that these guys are fine. I do have to be very careful when I work in the penguin enclosure. I don't drop anything, because gentoo penguins, unlike most other penguins, will swallow anything. So they'll swallow children's gloves or toys, so we try and discourage the public from coming too close, because if they feed them something it can cause a blockage and kill them. Right, so I'm just going to disinfect the skin before we take a little blood sample. So this is a nice little, the only little bit of skin that isn't completely covered with feathers, and there's a little blood vessel there that we can get some blood from. So we only need a very small quantity of blood. That's a good thing, we don't have to take very much, so it's almost like they scratched their nail and they had a little bit of bleeding. It's not a big thing for them. What she's unhappy about is being held, because the only time a penguin would actually ever be held is if it was in the mouth of a leopard seal eating it. So they're not bothered about the blood sample, they actually just don't like being held. So let's have a look if it's stopped. That's good, that's stopped. So it's not too cold today, but on a cold morning the little blood vessels contract in a penguin's foot, and it makes it really difficult for me to get a blood sample. It's one of the few places they can regulate their body temperature, because it's not covered with feathers. So if the weather's hot, they can lose a bit of heat from their feet, and if it's cold, they also constrict the blood vessels so they don't lose heat through their feet. Right, let's put her down. Feathers down my throat. Oh, none the worse for wear.